Have you ever wondered how many diets there are in existence today to help people lose weight? Well, according to Wikipedia, there's over 150 diets, and they range from religious-based to high carb to low fat to high fat to low carb to vegan, and to the diets that come and go, also called the fad diets. So, but there is one group of people that don't ever have to diet. However, they're able to use fat at 5 to 40 times better than adults, and those are newborns. So how did they do it? Well, we've been educated to believe that our major source of fuel for our bodies is carbohydrates. However, research has shown that there's something better than carbohydrates, and those are called ketones. So what are these ketones, and what is this ketogenic diet that people are talking about? Well, the ketogenic diet is based on eating a low amount of carbohydrates, a moderate amount of protein, and a high amount of good fats. And also, in order to be in this ketogenic state, we talk about getting rid of these glucogenic substrates. And basically what that is, these are glucose-producing carbohydrates and also amino acids. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to lower our blood glucose levels, and when we do that, our body will now start using fat. So what we need to talk about also is insulin. And insulin is very important in this too, because when we eat some sugar, when we're starting to digest it, the brain recognizes there's sugar, tells the pancreas to release this insulin. So what insulin is the key that opens up the cell to allow this sugar to go in there. So there could be some problems with that. As we get older, the insulin is trying to let the sugar go into the cell, but the cell's saying no because now we need more and more insulin. We become insulin resistant, and that's the big reason why we get fat. So, so in essence, what we're trying to do, the ketogenic diet is trying to lower our blood sugar, lower our insulin levels, and now we can start breaking down these triglycerides that are fat and using that for our energy, and those are what's called ketones. So we're changing, so the ketogenic diet is saying, let's not use the sugar, let's now use the fat. And now also with the lower glucose and insulin, we become higher, we have a higher metabolic rate. So when did it all get started? Well, 5th century BC, they talked about this fasting, and they have to know the relationship between fasting and ketogenic diet. When you fast, it actually helps you in your metabolism, and it can help in seizures. So also in the Bible, in Mark chapter 9, there was a boy who was having seizures, and Jesus said, well, you know what, this spirit can't come out except through prayer and fasting. So let's fast forward now to the 18th century, and there was an individual, a French lawyer, and he was a politician. He wrote a book, and it's Physiology of Taste, and he said that the big problem with obesity is that people are eating too many floury and sugary substances. So we go to the 20th century, and there was an individual named Bernard McFarland, and he said that if somebody were to do a few things, he could actually cure them of diseases. And some of those things that he was talking about was to eat a low amount of sugar, get good sleep, exercise, and fast. So there's actually been some research showing that there was a female, 65 years old. She had an aggressive form of brain tumor. She went on this keto diet, and it actually got rid of her tumor when she had an MRI. And also a famous Dr. Joseph Mercola, he's a homeopathic doctor, and he said that he can help people cure themselves from cancer by starving the root of the food, and that's sugar. So what do you eat, or what do you don't eat? Well, experts say that you pretty much need to clean out most of your pantry, your carbohydrates. You need to clean out the sugars, the cereals and the pastas and the rices, and you need to replace those with good foods, like with good protein and good non-starch veggies and low glycemic types of fruits, berries and strawberries. so in conclusion, I talked about the basics of the diet, I talked about the history of where it came from, and what kind of foods that you need to eat in order to be on this ketogenic diet. So in conclusion, I hope that gives you a good understanding, and according to registered dietitians, this was rated as the #1 diet in 2020. Thank you.